It's a normal morning at OR Tambo International Airport. The world's largest passenger aircraft are arriving from Europe, and domestic and regional flights are all contributing to keep both runways busy. AXA bird and wildlife specialists have been out since before dawn, man or woman and dog patrolling, keeping wildlife away from aircraft. 9:38 a.m. and the control tower calls LIONEL SEWRAJ and requests help on runway 03 left. Birds are worrying the pilots of departing aircraft as they try to get close to feed off a dead gull which has been struck by an aircraft on the runway. Two teams rush across to the runway. The need is urgent. This is a major safety issue.
The work that we do involves safety. So it's safety for the aircraft, safety for the birds involved. So it's an extremely vital function that we operate.
The runway is live, so the teams wait for permission to enter. ATNS closes the runway, forcing all aircraft movements around 03 left to be put on hold, while at full speed the teams race down the runway. Every moment the runway is closed causes potential flight delays. To save time, the dog runs to retrieve the dead bird, and after a quick inspection of the rest of the runway, the teams exit and radio in to say it's safe to open the runway again and flights resume.
Here at OR Tambo International Airport, we have 2 live runways, and it's necessary that these runways, there's land-ins and taking off after every 5 minutes. So if there's a bird strike, we need to enter that runway as quick as possible, and we utilize dogs to retrieve birds off the runways. So we actually save time from actually getting off our ATVs and picking it up with our bare hands.
Bird strikes can not only cause expensive damage to aircraft, but can be deadly. AXA has a full team of bird and wildlife officers at Johannesburg's main airport to tackle the issue. Melissa HOFMANN and her dog Scott lead the team at OR Tambo International. LIONEL SEWRAJ is accompanied by Griffin. Ronel Steenkamp teams up with Tina, and Mariano Boyson and his hat work with Chase. Here in Joburg, the teams use 2 different breeds of dog.
We're currently using Springer Spaniels and Border Collies. Here at OR Tambo International Airport, we actually have game birds that like to forage in very dense thickets, bushes and that type of thing. So we've got a flushing breed that can go in and actually flush the birds out of that particular area. We've then also got areas of very short grass where we utilize Border Collies who utilize the direct approach to go and actually chase the birds off the maneuvering area.
And you work really hard not to harm the birds, right?
That's correct. Our main aim is to make sure that they go into safer areas. So we'd rather move them into that safer area so they can feed and forage and live out their normal lives without being in danger of being ingested into an aircraft engine.
And the dogs themselves, are they happy here?
The dogs are extremely happy here. I mean, I spend more time with my working dogs than my dogs currently at home. And they're just enthusiastic every morning to get out there and do their core function, which is chasing birds.
What is it that makes an airport attractive to a bird?
There's a lot of open area. And I mean, if you look at the area surrounding this airport, it's very industrialized and developed. So this is a very safe area for birds to come in and forage, open areas. So we have also flocks of helmeted guinea fowl that are present on this airport, but they're so well trained that they actually know which areas to remain in where they're not going to be threatened by aircraft or chased by a working dog.
Dogs chasing the birds are just one method the teams use to disperse wildlife.
At OR Tambo International Airport, we're currently using 2 types of pyrotechnics, one being a scream around, the other one being a bang around, both extremely effective in moving birds off the runway. The first one is the scream around, and the second one is the bang around.
All the team's dog's food is sponsored by Yukonuba. At the apron, Melissa and her colleagues often have to deal with animals, some of them large wild creatures that manage to chew their way out of wooden crates in aircraft holds. If they get out into the airport, it can take a long time for them to be captured and then emotionally reunited with their owners. A bewildering bouquet of birds manage to make it into airport buildings and have to be rescued. A wide range of quite exotic animals are occasionally found in the remoter parts of the airport between the runways. The team is trained in catching and releasing snakes. The wrinkle, with its poisonous venom, is frequently found around the airport. Nomusa Nkiti sets up the trophy cam, used to monitor the nighttime movements of wildlife at the airport.
My name is Nomusa Nkiti. I work for OR Tambo International Airport as a bird and wildlife officer that's mostly focusing on the nocturnal species. So basically, we sort of like monitor the rabbits, we monitor the guinea fowls, we monitor all the species that you'd find mostly at night, and we have trophy cameras that are placed around the airport, and those actually now track the different types of species found within the airport that we're not able to see during the day. The trophy camera is placed within a place where basically there's a sensor. If any animal walks past the trophy camera, it will take a photo of that species, animal, whatever it is. By that, we're able to see the different types of species that you'd find at night. Just like recently, we've had a honey badger that was spotted on the actual airport. So the trophy cameras are placed randomly around the airport, and those are actually helping to collect more data, especially for the nocturnal species around the airport.
My name is Rabben Ravruma. I've been employed by AXA Airport Company South Africa, and then to work at the nocturnal animal species monitoring. We normally work each and every day at night, like monitoring the rabies and then to determine the average numbers of rabies at the airport. We use the GPS, like we drive using the buggy on the taxiways, along taxiways and along runways. So now we count the number of rabies. After counting the number of rabies, we put them on the system to determine the average number of the rabies at the airport.
In warmer months, the nocturnal staff are faced with a flock of gulls on the apron. Insects are attracted to the apron lights, and in turn, gulls come to feed off the insects. Pyrotechnics are the best way to disperse the gulls. It's obvious this is more than a job, it's a vocation.
The most satisfying thing is getting out there every morning with my working dog, being able to do a function that is both vital to aircraft and to the safety of birds, and feel every day is dynamic. It changes every day, so you really don't know what to expect from day to day.
An extraordinary team dedicated to keeping birds and wildlife safe at OR Tambo International Airport.